Hey guys, this is Greg coming to you with another Fundrise video. Today's video we're going to be talking about some news that came out from Fundrise about some changes coming to the eREIT and eFund redemption policy that they've had in place since the beginning. So let's just kind of go in here and see what it is. But before we do, make sure if you like this video, hit that like button down below. That thumbs up really does help me know that you guys are watching and enjoying what you're watching at the same time. And again, by the time when you're done with this, if you do like what you're watching, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And just so you can see new videos as they come out. I do weekly updates usually, and I usually have some different like acquisition and information on the properties that are in Fundrise accounts. So just hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, we'll just keep on going here, okay? So what we're talking about today, upcoming changes to the eREIT and eFund redemption policy, something that they've had in place since the beginning, and it's been kind of controversial on the forums, on Reddit, anywhere you really look, just on based on how liquid something like Fundrise accounts are. They kind of had some higher blocks on being able to get your money out if you needed to. So they've updated the redemption policy to aim to simplify redemption process, provide you with improved access to liquidity at a generally lower fee, which that is one of the blocks that a lot of people had complained about, was a high fee. So we're excited to announce upcoming changes to the redemption policy for eREITs and the Fundrise eFund, aiming at providing you with improved access to liquidity at a generally lower fee. We expect the updated redemption policy to be effective on October 1st, 2021. So that's coming next month. If you've been investing with us for a while, then you know that we are constantly working on it to improve the overall Fundrise experience using technology to reduce costs and to make investing simpler and more efficient. We built Fundrise with the goal of providing investors with the opportunity to outperform the stock market over the long term by investing in real properties that offer many benefits, including higher potential returns and generally greater stability. However, those benefits come with a trade-off, primarily liquidity. So, while we aim to highlight the importance of understanding the illiquid nature of our product for each new investor on the platform, it continues to be one of the more complex areas of the products, especially once you get out of that starter and basic. It starts to get a little bit more complicated, and that's where they're trying to make it a little bit more simplistic as you get out of that starter and basic package and go up to the core. So as a result, we're excited to announce these changes that we believe will make liquidating eREIT and eFund shares easier to understand and ultimately create a better experience for you, the investor. So here's their current policy. So this is effective now through the end of September 2021. So the early redemption penalties, if you wanted to redeem your shares in a fund, okay, less than 5 years old, they're subject to a penalty of up to 3%. So, except shares for held less than 90 days, which can be redeemed at the full initial purchase price. And their order of redemption processing was last in, so the last time you bought, it would be the first fund out. Okay, so say you bought something yesterday, and a month before that, a month before that, a month before that. If you would sell it, it would be the one that you bought yesterday. That would be the first one out. Okay, so last one in, first one out. So their new policy, which will be effective the beginning of October, shares held less than 5 years are subject to a flat 1% penalty, including shares that were held less than 90 days. So now everything's just going to be held at a flat rate, even that 90-day money that you put in. So they're changing their order of redemption as well. It's going to be first in, first out. So say you're in it for 5 years, that money that you put in 5 years ago, that's going to be the first one out, just like you would primarily in the stock market if you'd be on Fidelity or or Robinhood or anything like that. Generally, it's a first in, first out type scenario. So to be clear, these changes will not impact the liquidity of the Fundrise interval fund, which is what, if you watch my videos, that's what I'm currently in. I'm in that starter, that interval fund. That's where all new money for anybody in that $500 or $1,000, that's where all of your money is going anyway. So this is not involving the interval fund. That's their flagship fund that powers the core of investor portfolios. Unique structure and liquidity requirements of the Fundrise interval fund made it possible for us to offer a penalty-free quarterly repurchase process. So let's understand this new policy. So a flat early redemption penalty for eREITs and the Fundrise eFund. We're getting rid of the laddering fee structure, which includes an early redemption penalty of up to 3%, depending on the amount of time that shares were held. Instead, we're adopting a flat 1% penalty on redemption requests submitted for shares held for less than 5 years. We believe that the new flat penalty is easier to understand and generally lowers that early redemption penalty for investors. As part of this change, we're removing the 90-day introductory period during which investors currently have the opportunity to redeem their shares at the full initial repurchase price. Under the updated policy, redemption requests for shares held less than 90 days will be subject to that 1% penalty. So, however, investors will be eligible to keep any dividends earned while their shares remain on record, plus any appreciation earned prior to the redemption request submission, which was previously not possible through the introductory period, which is kind of a big deal. So our eREITs and the Fundrise eFund will operate with a first in, first out, FIFO, share redemption process. So thanks to feedback from investors like you, we're updating our approach for partial redemption to allow you to redeem shares held for more than 5 years at no penalty, regardless of subsequent investments made into the same fund. That means that if you request to redeem a portion of the shares you own in a given fund, we'll automatically redeem the shares that you've held for the longest, with the goal of minimizing your early redemption penalties. Any shares that you request to redeem that you have not yet reached the 5-year mark will be first in, first out basis, are subject to that 1% flat penalty. So you can now add funds to your account via manual investment, auto invest, or dividend reinvestment with confidence that you should be able to request to redeem your initial investment penalty-free after you've held them for 5 years. So if you're holding them for more than 5 years, you're not going to be getting that penalty anymore because, again, it's not going to be the last one in is the first one out, that kind of thing. So you're not going to get that penalty anymore, which is really great to see. So what's not changing? Well, while we're excited about these new updates to redemption policy, it's important to remember that real estate investments are inherently long-term and illiquid. As a result, some of the key aspects of a redemption policy still apply. So they include that 5-year investment term. So Fundrise investments, like all real estate investments, should be viewed as a long-term 5+ year investment. If you see my weekly updates, you can kind of see what that 1 to 5 year investment and how much it builds over those 5 years. Just go check one of those out so you can see what they're talking about here. So the early redemption penalties will apply to requests submitted for eREIT and eFund shares held less than 5 years. The redemption processing timeline, so this isn't changing either. Redemption requests submitted for eREITs will be reviewed at the end of the calendar quarter during which they were submitted, and redemption requests submitted for the Fundrise eFund will be reviewed at the end of the month following a 60-day waiting period after they were submitted. So same thing as they did before. Redemption requests are not guaranteed to be approved. So the eREIT and eFund programs strive to provide early liquidity to investors who need it. They may suspend or limit those programs during times of economic turbulence, just like we did here with the pandemic. They did hold that. Again, that's more for everybody's safety that's in the funds than anything else. So they do have some FAQs down here. Does this change apply to the interval fund? Again, no. This change will not impact the interval fund, which powers the core. The unique structure and liquidity requirements of the interval fund make it possible for us to offer a penalty-free quarterly repurchase process. So you're not getting penalized in the interval fund. So when can I redeem shares under this new policy. So any request submitted on or after October 1st will be subject to the updated redemption policy. For administrative purposes, investors will be temporarily unable to submit redemption requests for the Fundrise fund on October 1st. And can they request to redeem my shares prior to this change? Yes, any redemption request, including outstanding redemption requests submitted prior to September 30th at 11:59 p.m., should be processed on approximately October 2nd, pursuant to the current redemption plan. So there you guys have it. What do you guys think of these changes coming to the eREIT and eFund policies? I think they're good changes. What I've seen online has been mostly popular, very happy about it. So just put your comments down below on what you think on that. And again, if you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you like what you've been seeing so far, so that you can see all the updates that come out on my channel. And make sure to check out other videos on my channel as well. There's one coming up here, or is up here right now on the screen. And see you guys next time. Take care.